Okay, my name is Brian Otieno. I'm an extension officer at Aquaculture Band Limited. I'm working closely with a project called GABAP, Grassroots Aquaculture Business Acceleration Program.
Hello everyone, my name is Leonida Abuya Okumu. I come from Mawembe Beach and I'm a fish farmer at Mawembe Beach, and also I do kiosk business around here.
So my name is James Kerubo Magwa. I'm an extension officer, Aquaculture Band Limited. As an extension officer, my role is to guide the participants who are doing the cage fish farming to the journey through the production, like from site selection, stocking, sampling, up to harvesting.
My name is Molly Apondi, the Secretary of Mawembe Fish Traders, which is part of GABAP program under cage fish farming. Today, after the 8 months of rearing and feeding the fish, we are proud to do our harvest.
So GABAP came because we did phase 1 of this project. The phase 1 was called Grassroots Aquaculture Program. In this phase, we just focused on training of young people who had interest in aquaculture. But then after that, these young people were supposed to go and start their own ventures alone. So there was need to kickstart these youths that had interest. That had interest in aquaculture and fish farming. So that is when now GABAP came into action. So GABAP has been done in 2 sections, the cage section and fingerling section. So for the cages, initially we realized that young people do not own land, and it was very hard for them to access land where they could set up their ponds and do production. So that is how the idea of cage fish farming came into action, because nobody owns the lake, so it was easy for us to access the lake through the local authorities and also the formalities with the local governments. So every young person who has interest in cage fish farming can actually venture into cage farming, as long as they do the bare minimum requirements for cage farming. So the situation when we came at the beaches, one, GABAP focused on young women, and specifically 70% young women participation in the program. So this was a new idea that we were bringing to the communities, because within these communities that we are working with, the young women are not allowed to go fishing. They are not allowed to carry out fish farming or go to the lakes to conduct such activities. So the reception took time. It took us time to bring the idea to the community, for them to digest and even to adopt the idea and allow even these young people now to freely move into the cages.
My typical day as an aquaculture extension officer, firstly is the major part of it, it's feeding. For example, for the cage fish farming, it starts by weighing the feeds at the store with the participants, going to the lake and then doing the checkup of the cage first, ties the net, ties the fish, remove of mortalities and all that, and then there is the start of feeding according to response. So mine is to ensure the participants are doing it right, and afterwards there is the recording of the data of what we have done, because records in fish farming is very important to know where you are going and what do you expect. And there is also the feeds records, whereby there is purchasing of feeds, and the participants need to take them to the various stores and do the recordings on each type of feeds in each time.
We had beaches where we were introducing the cages for the first time. For example, Mawembe Beach and Rare Beach. This was the first time they were having the cages. And apart from the cages, there were some of the issues that were underlying that we were afraid could deter us from reaching our goals, like the security of these cages, like the road network connecting these places. So getting to this point and introducing this to these beaches first is an indication that these beaches can actually do something, and we can bring these beaches to be lively, and we can also show other investors that these beaches are able to do something and produce, because for the first time we've sold fish in Mawembe Beach. For the first time we've sold fish in Rare Beach, which has been the two beaches have been known majorly for ochonga, which is a local shrimp, freshwater shrimp. So this was a new thing that was coming to these beaches, and the way the beaches reacted and the way they adopted to welcome the idea and also to welcome the project was also immense. They really supported the project, and where we had challenges, even with our own participants, they were able to come in and also help to motivate them and show them that they can actually achieve.
Mi naona hii cage vile imefika hapa hivi, at least imeweza kuongeza watu kwa hii area, na imeweza kusaidia watu juu hii ndio cage ya kwanza kufika kwa hii beach, na naona mambo inaendelea sawa, na watu pia wanaongezeka, wanakuja samaki juu kwa sasa hivi tunaongea samaki haikukua, but cage naona imesaidia watu kuleta samaki.
About cage, personally, what motivated me to joining fish farming is I had interest in first place, even though by then I didn't know how to do it. I never had any experience around the fish farming. But when GABAP came through, I saw a light in that, and I realized I could do it, and that's how I got motivated to be part of fish farmers in Kenya. Yeah.
Impact tumepata kama saa hizi sisi kama wanawake, hii time tulikuwa tuna rear fish, tumepata skills mingi. Saa hizi najua kustock, kufeed fish, kutake care of the fish time iko kwa cage, na saa hizi vile tuna harvest, saa hizi pia tunajua kuharvest. Na tukimaliza kuharvest, tunafikiria of installing another cage.
So harvesting to me it was, yes, tough, not as I anticipated, because for you to sell the fish you have to wake up around 3 a.m. For you to go to the lake and bring the fish for the traders to get them by 7 a.m. because there is the fish traders want the fish latest by 9 a.m. So the experience about harvesting, it's been partly good, and at some point, yes, it's exhausting. But again, seeing what how the participants are perceiving it's lift me up at some point, because at some point you get tired. But seeing how happy they are harvesting, it's been six months of feeding and all that. The happiness, the reaction really encouraged me so much, and yeah, the experience was good. About the results, you see, this is what we have worked for 6 months. We had goals. We had anticipated on what to get. We had our short-term and long-term goals. So seeing them, of course, at some point it wasn't exactly what we had planned, but we are grateful because it's for the first time. At least we get something. You can see the ladies, they have gotten something out of the day. They can also be able to continue onto the next phase after we are done with this. And this generally shows, however, we have had so very many challenges. It means aquaculture or cage fish farming, it's viable. It's something that the youths and the women in the community can do. It means they can earn income, they can get dignified jobs through this cage fish farming when if guided well, if they're being guided well on what to do on each steps, and if they observe all the best aquaculture practices, if they are being put into action. So in general, it's a success. It's the best thing that you can do as a youth or as a young woman for you to come to the aquaculture sector. It's promising.
What harvesting meant so much to me. First, it was a dream. It was a goal achieved. It was a dream realized. It was a lesson learned. So with harvesting, it meant so much to me. It made me realize how patient I can be and wait. Yeah.
Okay. Kwa hii mambo ya cage, kitu yenye mimi naona ungeweza hata kuongeza zingine, cause hii moja naona hata haitoshi juu watu wako wengi, watu wanang'ang'ania samaki. Hata ukiangalia hapo juu vile unaona watu wako hapo wengi, na wangeweza hata kupata opportunity ya kuongeza cage nyingine, watakuwa wametusaidia sana kwa hii beach yetu. Cause cage inasaidia sana juu unaona hata sasa hii watu hata kwenda kutafuta samaki, but naona watu wananunua juu ya cage. So cage moja hadi haitoshi, so wangeweza kupata hiyo opportunity ya kutuongeza hata cage nyingine, wangeweza kutusaidia sana.
So the beaches that we are working with, we hope that this with this first harvest we can show them that something can actually work, that cage farming can actually give results, and we foresee a future where we will have more cages than the ones we already having there. We expect at least to have another 2 cages in Mawembe and Rare, coming up to 4 cages in total within the next 6 months, and after that we also expect another cage to be born from the program. And with that, because we've also shown investors that they can really invest in such areas, and I'm happy that even some of these beaches like Mawembe Beach are already considering welcoming other investors to come and invest in their beach. That will be able to also help us also in driving some policy work, because policy like road networks and stuff could be motivated by such activities. When a beach is lively, a beach is selling, a beach is economically active, then it means that we can be able to even command some policies within the local areas and within our locality.
Sasa vile naona Aquaban ilete cage hapa ya group, na hiyo cage vile nimeona imevutia watu wengi kabisa, wafanya biashara wamepata samaki pia imekuja kwa quality ile mzuri kabisa. Watu wako wengi wamepata samaki, na tumeona hata watu wa local wameona cage ni kitu mzuri kabisa. Hata wengine wamesha kuja kwangu hapa wanataka kuinvest waweke pia. Na vile nimeona na hii idadi ile ilikuwa inachukua samaki na wafanya biashara, naona kama hii ni kidogo, hii cage moja ni kidogo. Ningependa nipate cage mingi, sababu hata maji yetu ni mzuri, mahali pa kuweka cage pia ni mzuri, mazingira yetu ni mzuri. Ningependa tupate cage investor wengi wa invest hapa kwa hii samaki. Juu hata hii imetoka sasa hii naona kama wale wamechukua wa biashara wamechukua samaki na wengine wamerudi bila samaki. Juu ile grades walikuwa nataka asikuwa zimetoka, wamemaliza zote zikaisha, mpaka kesho ndio watachukua zingine. Sasa naona kama tungekuwa na cage, tukimaliza hii tuanze tena ingine na ingine, inaweza vutia watu wa biashara wengi sana. na hata kasi kwa vijana. Nimeona wengine wanatoa skills za samaki, kina mama wanatoa matumbo nje. Kwa hivyo kasi inaweza patikana kubwa sana tukiwa na keji nyingi.
Programs like this, for example, the Grassroots Aquaculture Business Acceleration Project, it's a good thing that has happened to the community, because when looking into the rate of young women and the youths in these local communities, that is along the beaches, the employment level is quite low, and we have a lot of young women which are unemployed, and at some point they are doing for example, they are the ones doing the selling of ochonga and omena, and there is exploitation at some point, because it happens, and it's there. It's not easy for you to come here as a young woman and you get the ochonga ama the omena like that. So for this program, for example, bringing the cage production for the young women and the youths, it has helped them to get the fish easily for selling. For example, while we are doing this harvesting, we have several young women who started this selling of fish, because they can easily get them. It's from the cage, and they can come, pay, go sell, come again, pay, go and sell. It's easily accessible. So this shows you they could have started this earlier, because they had the money, they had the capital, but meaning the availability of this fish was the problem. And for other programs, we can encourage to have more cages for consistency. So I'm trying to think, for example, these ladies who had started this business of selling all fish or going and frying them, their consistency. Now that we are almost doing with the harvesting, what will happen to them? Because the lake is also depreciating. The fishermen, when they go to the lake, some come back without. So what happens to them? I'm trying to think what will happen to them now that the consistency is not there. We'll have to wait again for 6 to 8 months for the next harvest. So what I can say for other programs out there considering doing this, it's the best you can do to the community. It really helps improve the economic status of the community. It helps with creating jobs for the young women and youth in the local community.
My plans for the future is I'm not giving up on aquaculture. I still want to do it. Yes. My plan is not giving up on this one. I want to do it more and more.